Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. For tonight, it will be a story of a house that is there when it's needed. So let's get into it. The light was on again. It was the first thing I noticed when the road bent around the hill. A soft, warm glow in the distance, sitting where nothing was supposed to be. I slowed the car without thinking. I'd driven this road more times than I could count. Late nights, early mornings, rain, fog, and clear skies. And yet, I didn't remember a house being there. The forest pressed in close on both sides, tall trees standing shoulder to shoulder like quiet observers. The road itself was narrow, just wide enough for one car at a time, and rarely used after dark. But there it was, a single house tucked just far enough back from the road to feel intentional. The light in the front window didn't flicker, it didn't shine too bright either, it just waited. I told myself I was tired. A long day, longer thoughts. That happens. Still, I slowed down more than I meant to. The house passed by my window, and for a brief moment I felt something strange. Not fear, not curiosity. Exactly. More like recognition. As if the house knew me. I shook it off and kept driving. That night, sleep came slowly. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the light again. Steady, calm, unbothered by time or weather or passing cars. When morning came, I almost convinced myself it hadn't been real. Almost. The next evening, I took the same road. Not because I needed to, but because I wanted to. The sun had already dipped below the trees, leaving the sky painted in deep blues and soft grays. The kind of evening that feels heavier than it should. Like the world is settling in for a long rest. I rounded the bend. The light was on. Same place, same window, same glow. This time, I pulled over. The engine idled softly as I sat there, hands resting on the steering wheel. The forest was quiet. No wind, no birds, not even insects. Just the gentle ticking of cooling metal and my own breathing. I stepped out of the car. The air felt different here, cooler, thicker, like it had been waiting longer than I had. A narrow path led from the road to the house, very noticeable unless you were looking for it. The gravel crunched quietly under my boots as I followed it. The closer I got, the calmer I felt. No racing heart, no warning bells, just calm. The house was small, older but well kept. White paint, wooden porch, one rocking chair that moved slightly, though there was no wind. The light came from a single lamp inside. I stood on the porch for a moment, listening. Nothing. Then gently I knocked. The door opened almost immediately. An older woman stood there, her expression kind but unsurprised, as if she's been expecting me. "You found it," she said softly. Her voice was warm, familiar in a way I couldn't place. I think I did," I replied. She stepped aside and gestured for me to come in. Inside, the house smelled faintly of wood and tea. Fire crackled quietly in the fireplace, though it wasn't cold enough to need one. Books lined the walls, old ones with worn spines and handwritten notes stuck between the pages. Everything felt lived in, loved. "You're welcome to sit," she said, pointing to a chair near the fire. I sat. She poured tea without asking and set the cup in my hands. It's warm, grounding, exactly what I needed, though I hadn't known it. "You don't get many visitors," I said. She smiled. "Only the ones who need it." We didn't talk much at first. The silence wasn't awkward. It was comfortable. The kind that lets your thoughts settle instead of bounce around. Eventually, I asked the question that had been resting at the back of my mind. "How long has this house been here?" She considered this. "Long enough," she said. "And not always." I frowned slightly. She noticed and added, "It appears we're needed. Stays as long as it must." I should have been confused. I should have laughed it off. Instead, I nodded. That felt right. She told me stories, not dramatic ones, not scary ones, simple stories of people passing through, travelers, workers, souls worn thin by long days and longer years. Some stayed for tea, some stayed for hours, a few stayed overnight. "All of them leave lighter," she said. "And you?" I asked. "Do you ever leave?" She smiled again. "I stay so others can rest." I didn't realize how tired I was until she showed me the guest room. The bed was simple, clean. The blankets were heavy in a comforting way, not the suffocating one. The window looked out into the forest, where the trees swayed gently now, as if exhaling. "You can sleep," she said. "The light will stay on." I lay down without another word. Sleep took me almost instantly. I dreamt of quiet roads and warm lamps and hands steady on a wheel, of arriving somewhere without needing to leave again. When I woke, the room was filled with soft morning light. Birds sang outside, the air felt fresh and new. I dressed and stepped into the main room. The fire was out, the books were gone, the teacups cleaned and put away. The woman was nowhere to be seen. The house felt, well, finished. I stepped outside. The forest was brighter now, more open. The path back to the road clear and inviting. When I turned around, the house was still there, but quieter somehow, like it was already fading. I walked back to my car. The moment I sat down and closed the door, the feeling shifted. I looked up. The house was gone. No porch, no light, no path, just trees. I took a deep breath, started the engine. The road felt familiar again. Weeks passed, then months. Life returned to its usual pace. Busy, loud, and demanding. But something in me had changed. I slept better. I breathed deeper. I didn't rush the quiet moments anymore. Sometimes, when the days stretch long and the nights feel heavier than they should, I take that road again. I haven't seen the light since, but I know it's there, waiting for when I need it. Good night, guys. Have a peaceful one. Cheers.